My name is Noel Clarke. I'm not usually a presenter, I'm more of an actor, but I thought while I'm here on lockdown and isolated and in my place, what am I going to do? So I thought, let me talk to my friends a little bit more and actually let you watch me talk to my friends. And here we are, Career Chronicles. So what we're going to do is I'm going to speak to my friends and chronicle their careers, and basically we're going to learn about them. This guest, my first guest, is an amazing man. He's done everything you can think of. The Grain Chills, the Bills, the whole beast. He's gone to America on big movies, Get Rich or Die Trying, Speed Racer. He's done premiere TV here like Top Boy, and of course is in the hit show, the #1 show, Bulletproof, alongside another guy I know as well. That's right, you guessed it. Quarantine beard, quarantine haircut, recognizes my guest at this time. It is the man, Ashley Waters. Bruv, how you doing, my man?
I'm all good, my bro. Sorry, I'm eating a old school drumstick lolly.
Drumstick lolly, I love that.
Them.
This is the poor man's drumstick lolly. It's a toothpick, bro. That's how I know you're making that top wear money. Man's just got a toothpick. So what's good, man? What's good? You're right.
I'm here, bro. I'm isolated with the family like yourself.
Yeah. How's lockdown treating you?
Bro, if I'm honest, it's been difficult. But you know me, though. I like my confined space sometimes. I like to be by myself sometimes or whatever. So it's not been that bad for me, but this has tested my patience.
Yeah, tested.
Obviously, being with the kids all day long.
Yeah.
The wife all day long, everyone like. Not in a bad way. She's screaming.
I feel you.
Not in a bad way, but I'm just saying anyone.
Yeah, of course.
Who'd be isolated for that long would feel that way, bro. I hate to bring it up, but I was in prison.
Yeah.
And I was isolated with one brother for 23 hours a day, every day for like.
Something tells me this is worse though. Like for me, this is worse. I feel like I'm permanent.
Yeah, that's what I said before. I deserve to be there. I knew what I did wrong.
What have I done to deserve this?
Exactly.
Oh my God. Hey, what's going on? I'm seeing a little bum fluff on the chin there, bro. Like all these years I've known, I don't really see this thing.
Why you couldn't it, bum?
What, me? All right, me.
Take out this thing, man.
I'm seeing
bum fluff.
A lovely beard there. What's happening?
Bro, listen, obviously I can't get a trim. You know me, I usually get a trim like every week, sometimes twice a week or something like that. I know, bro.
Yeah.
Like anyway, let me not digress, but sorry, son, I ate my son's sweets. He's going mad.
Sorry, Riv.
That was his drumstick.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, so this, as you know me for long enough now to know.
Yeah.
You've never seen my hair on my face go longer than this. I usually get a trim all the time. But
you was upside down on the video, come on.
Oh, God. I don't want to be crying, bro. Please don't let me cry. Yeah, no, but look, it is what it is, isn't it? This is as much as it grows. It's a bit patchy and that, but this is as much as you're going to see it.
I like it. I like it, man. For whatever we do next, when we move on from BP and we're playing two old men together, I want the bid. I'll be bored by then anyway. Come on, things going. Anyway, so listen, let's get into this. I'm not going to start as usual interviews like, bro, how did your career start? Because anyone who's watched you long enough knows they should look back at a million Google articles and all this kind of stuff to learn that stuff. But what I would ask you straight away, like getting into it, is like all the years we've been doing this, all the years we've been grafting, like what do you feel like you've learned? What do you feel like your main lesson has been through all these years?
All right, so I suppose I've just learned I suppose the main thing I've learned is that talent is not enough. That, just having the foundational gift or the natural instinct to act or to do whatever you do as a job or whatever.
Yeah.
Is not enough. It's about how you are as a person, your loyalty, your discretion sometimes, and being around other people and working with other people in order to make something work. Those things will take you further than just your talent. Just your talent does.
We meet a lot of different people, don't we? We meet a lot of different people, and I feel like it's easy for people to go into a situation knowing how they were raised and knowing how they behave and kind of expect everyone else to be like that. And it's just not like that. Everyone's different, right?
No, it's not. It's exactly, bro. Riv. I know you want to sing that song, but remember what Daddy said? All right, come on. He's singing my one. Riv, come here, come. Sorry, no. Come.
That's all right.
I know, but so can you listen? Yeah, no, it's all good. No, listen. I'm just saying, can you just stop singing for Daddy for a minute while I talk to Uncle Noel? Look, say hello. Say hi. Bend down, say hi.
Hello, darling. Hey, River.
All right, so stop singing for a minute for me, yeah? Good boy. Yeah, what was he saying?
Yeah, the career lesson. People are different, and we don't always know that in situations.
Well, it's called, I don't know. You have to put on mask. We all have different sides to ourselves.
Have to be adaptable.
Adaptable, and that's it. And that's why a lot of people find it hard to do, especially coming from where we come from. Do you know what I mean? Riv. 1 sec, no. 1 sec.
Yeah, no worries. This is what we do on this show. It goes out how it is, and so sometimes these situations are
this is how it goes, man. Come on. This is how it goes.
I love the shorts, bro. Is this how you're rolling?
Oh, hi.
Yeah.
Hello. Hey, am I in love? Hello, darling.
All right, get out of me.
I'm doing a show. We're professionals. We're professionals. Bro, this is going to be in there anyway. You have to be adaptable. And I think that's a real lesson, especially where we come from. Is like suddenly you're in these rooms of all these well-to-do people of different cultures, and if you're not adaptable, you won't survive. Exactly.
And you know, if I'm honest with you, I learned that late in my life. That's probably why we didn't speak for so long.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? In the beginning, because I was like, you know how I was back then. I was just anti. I was just like, bun everyone. I'm doing my thing. You know what I mean? I was like, I'm doing it my way.
Yeah,
and whatever. And I just thought I knew everything and I was the best. And do you know what I mean? And then quickly, like, you start to meet more people and you realize, oh, damn. Like you're a person, like, when I started working with you, I'm like, bloody hell, this guy knows everyone. How can someone know every person in the game? How is it even possible? But like, you're a man of relationships. You're a man of network. You're a man of growth. You know what I'm saying? And in order to grow, sometimes, well, not sometimes, you should make sure that you're the dumbest person in the room. You should be surrounding yourself with people that are great.
You're the smartest person in the room. You're in the wrong room.
Yeah, you're in the wrong place, bro. You ain't learning nothing in there.
You're the
Everyone's feeding off you.
You're the dumbest person, learn, and once you become the smartest, leave the room.
Yeah, that's it. And I see that's your business model.
That's the business model, man, because that's how you progress and you grow. So what would you say over the years have been your personal highlights of your career? And I'm not talking about what people put on you and say, you should be so proud of this and you should be so proud of that. What do you think are your personal highlights? Whether it's the smallest little play you did when nobody's seen, you know what it's like when we're first starting out, or whatever it is, what do you think are your, let's say, 3 highlights of your career?
Well, I'd have to say, like, first and foremost, storm damage.
Yeah, amazing.
100%, because for me, that was like the breakthrough. That was the first, that was probably when I realized, all right, there's something I can do here.
Yeah.
Or do you know what I'm saying? Like, this game, there's something in this game for me. But also as well, like, I felt, you know, it's probably going to be one of my most natural and instinctive performances as an actor, because I probably didn't really know what I was doing too much when I was doing it anyway. Do you know what I'm saying? So I was a bit more free.
But I'd say I watched you in that. That was the first thing I ever saw you in. I was at home. I wasn't even acting them times. I was at home on my bed in my mum's place, and I saw that and I thought it was amazing. And I've said that to you many times. I thought it was amazing. That was one of the things that made me go, yo, well, I don't know who this guy is, but I want to do this as well. Do you know what I'm saying? It was amazing. Yeah, sorry, go on the next one.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. I mean, that was a start for me. I kind of looked at myself like that when I saw it. And then I suppose milestone-wise and landmark for me was definitely Bullet Boy, because that film means a lot to me for many reasons. Because as you know, I just come out of prison when I got that movie.
Yeah.
And I was like on my face in a sense of, you know, So Solid was done. I didn't know what I was doing. I was depressed, and I hadn't been doing acting for years before that, you know what I mean? So it was like coming out, getting that, and then, you know, watching that relaunch my career. Because, you know, sometimes when you're in it, people don't know that.
People don't
like,
see
you make a film, they don't see it, but sometimes it's like, it has a whirlwind effect in the sense of, you know how it is. Sometimes you can be in the middle of something, doing press and this and that or whatever, and you just don't realize how big it is yourself. You can't look at it from the outside. So you're just like, oh, I'm doing this thing and this is what I do or whatever. But like with that one there, I kind of saw like my life changing and doors opening and different people respecting me for what I did. And kind of or that whole image of So Solid gangster thing or whatever, it kind of got stripped away from me. And I was able to become Ashley Waters, an actor. Do you know what I'm saying? And that just gave me a new lease of life.
100% for me. You know, Bullet Boy, and it's a difficult one because when you talk about like quotation mark as we're labeled urban films, you know, a lot of people gravitate towards my film Kidulthood as the benchmark and the thing that started all of the big boom that goes on today. But I often say, and I've said it in front of you and when you're not there, it's like Bullet Boy came out before Kidulthood. But people kind of forget that, and Bullet Boy kind of started.
Well, you know what it is. It's mainly because for two reasons. The success of your film was phenomenal. And it was kind of unprecedented when it comes to, like, you know what I mean, what that genre can do. So we were kind of the test sort of thing before. That was just kind of like, people were like, raw, no one's making films like this. This is a bit mad. But no one kind of went on it or whatever. But by the time your film come, culture was ready. You know what I mean? The kids were ready.
Marketing as well, poster, the whole thing.
You were very forward thinking with that. It came like it was an American movie to us. Where Bullet Boy was very art house and like small, you know what I mean? Like it was that whole process. But sick movie, man. I remember watching that. I remember, I know I'm flipping the game, but I just remember watching that and feeling like, raw. Actually, I was meant to be in it.
That's right. That's right.
I remember now.
That's right.
Now I wasn't meant to be in it, but
you nearly played Trife. That's right. That's right.
I come for the audition. I remember. And you were there.
I was there.
I think that was the first time I proper met you. Like,
we didn't know each other, but that's right. That's right. And Hoods. That's right, man. Why?
I remember it was by Lambeth Bridge, bro. I remember coming to that casting.
What would Lambeth Bridge? Like, had we done that? How would things be like? You know what? Maybe things have their time. Actually, maybe Bulletproof is happening now. If that had happened,
that's what I would say. I'm glad it didn't happen. I'm glad it didn't happen.
So listen,
No, you go.
I'm saying,
what you interview, man?
It's mine. Shut up, it's mine. What are you looking forward to when this is all got? I mean, God willing, man. I mean, this is an unprecedented thing. But what are you looking forward to post lockdown? What do you miss? What do you miss? I was talking to someone the other day, and I was like, I miss the cinema. And you know, the interesting thing is, I like to go cinema on my own. Like, I like to go on a Wednesday afternoon when there's not many people there, and I go in the cinema, or I go on a Sunday early with my kids. I take them, we sit in there, right? But to be honest, bro, I miss the cinema. People around, chairs, getting your popcorn. Now, man, I'm shook. I wouldn't take the popcorn from no one. I don't want to sit in no. Like, what do you miss? What do you miss?
Bro, do you want me to be really real?
Yeah, of course.
Work and fucking money. Work and money.
Where's the money?
I want the money back.
Yeah.
I want to see my bank balance going up again.
100%. Because you know what people don't realize is they think, we do one film where some sort of zillionaire or whatever like that.
Yeah.
These times, a set on a location of a movie has hundreds of people, and actually we can't work. We legitimately can't work. All right, that's 100%. I see that. All right, we're going to play a little thing called Best, yeah? So basically, I'm going to say to you, Ashley Waters, what is your best? And you got to tell me what your best of that was. All right?
All right.
So let me go into my little hat here, which is absolutely nothing, but I'm going to pick out. Ashley Waters, what were the best ever oysters you tasted? I know you like it.
I love an oyster. I'm terrible with the types of oysters or the names, but I'd say the best tasting oyster I've ever had was from a place called Wright Brothers, and it's a deep fried oyster. So the oyster is fried in like breadcrumbs or whatever, and then they put it in a baby gem lettuce leaf, and there's some special sauce on top of it, and it's like a one bite thing, brother. Listen, I'll go there for them things all day long. That's life right there.
Yeah, because I know this guy's an oyster connoisseur. Like, you know about your oysters. So if
I love oysters, bro.
Yeah,
I love oysters.
All right, and one more. Let's go. Ashley, what was your best ever cartoon when you was a kid?
Ooh, man, that's hard. Because I weren't really, really into cartoons. But if I had to say, I'd say you're talking about Captain Planet.
Yeah.
Or I was a big fan of, I did Danger Mouse as well. And then, and Banana Man I used to love as well. Banana Man was
Which one you saying? Which one?
Out of them, I'd say Captain Planet probably.
Yeah,
was the most commercial one. Do you know what I mean? I watched it.
Man, the people that listened to him back then, we might not be in this situation now, eh?
I'm telling you, it's very relevant, you know, and I didn't say it for that reason. but
why didn't we listen to him in his stupid gold yellow suit and silver and red suit? All right. So in terms of your career, right, you've been smashing. You've done all the usual stuff that we've all done, the Holbies, the Bills, and all this kind of stuff. You've done the Grange Show. Then you've done big films way before a lot of people. Big films, Get Rich or Die Trying, Speedway. So what was your experience like on those big films? And how does it relate to, how do you think it helped you, or did it not help you in how you handle yourself on set like now?
Yeah, doing Get Rich or Die Trying was a game changer for me. I spoke to you about this, and like when I was over there, I was shook, bro. Like I was just out of my depth for the first few weeks I was there. I was like, meeting them and 50 and people like that. And I started to doubt myself, like, should I even be here? Do they know I'm just little Ashley from the ends or whatever? Do you know what I mean? What am I doing here? And it was mad. So I've kind of clammed up a bit, and the director had issues with me. Who's that, Macy?
Yeah, don't worry about him.
The director had issues and was kind of like, bro, Jim Sheridan, he was like, you're not acting. And basically everything you shot is going to end up on the cutting room floor. And I'm ready to send you home. So you need to fix up, like, sort of thing.
Wow. People don't realize those things, though. They think it's all plain sailing. Yeah. Not always, is it?
Nah, bro, no, it was deep for me because I just didn't connect. I just didn't get it. You know what I mean? I didn't know how to, because I was playing in America. Well, it ended up being a Jamaican patois role, but it was initially meant to be American accent, and then that kind of didn't work out. So, it just kind of starts to devalue your, it starts to make you, like, doubt yourself. Yeah. You start doubting yourself, and I became insecure, I think, for a bit. And actually, the real thing that changed everything for me was that moment when my man said that I might send you home, and I had a little thing, and I was like, raw. And then a couple weeks later, my dad died, bro. So he came out, he flew out to see me while he had cancer. And obviously, me and him, we didn't talk before that, but he just wanted to see me before he went. And he came out and spent like 2 weeks with me, just in my apartment. And I just filmed him every day and this and that or whatever. And then he left, and the day he left, he passed away. Wow. He caught pneumonia on the plane, got off the plane, they rushed him straight to hospital, he died. But bro, if I'm honest with you, if I give my dad anything, I'd give him the fact that after that, I was into whatever was cracking on set. I was like, you just felt power, because I felt like,
I have to do it now for him.
I have to do this now. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, how many men from the ends would love to be in this position or whatever, but they got cancer, or they're this, or they're that, or they're dead, or do you know what I mean? Whatever. So I had to do it, and it gave me spirit, bro. From that point on, I'd say that was a switch in my acting mind when it came to, all right, cool, I've got to be more open now. I've got to control my destiny a bit more. So when I came back, I opened my company, I opened a production company, I opened a music management company. Do you know what I'm saying? I bought my little office in Borough, hired some guys, and we just started doing our thing and trying to generate some content and doing whatever. And it was just the first time I realized, like, you know what? I've just been sailing through this. I need to jump on and be a bit more hands-on with what I'm doing. And then obviously further along the line, meeting people like you, that was confirmed.
Yeah, that's an amazing story, man. It's deep, and obviously, sorry about your dad, but you know that seems like it seems like that was the thing, that was the catalyst, and maybe, you know, the energy works in a mysterious way. Maybe that was what you needed. Do you know what I'm saying, to really get to that place?
Yeah, man, 100%.
So, in terms of, you know, we move on through your career, we talk about things. There's no way we can miss out Top Boy. Like, we can't miss it out. So, what was your experience, you know, in first getting that job? And obviously, it's become this cultural, phenomenal show in terms of the old series and the new series. Like, how do you feel about that, and what do you love about it?
It's good, man. It's good. I love it. I mean, I love the fact that you know, it's resonated so well throughout the age groups, throughout, I suppose, classes and races, I suppose, in the UK. So when you look at it, it's like, you know, I've got there's fans of Top Boy that are in their 60s. Yeah. You know what I mean? And white and from middle class background, or, you know what I mean? Or whatever. Yeah. Just kind of, it just has a very diverse following, which I think is brilliant. I think that crossover makes it a special. It's part of what makes it special. Yeah. But then I like the fact that that the formula. So the formula that we've always had for the show is that, I suppose, only 20%, maybe 30% of the cast are professional actors. Yeah. Everyone else is like, you know, just newcomers, like they've just been plucked out of obscurity.
Made some careers for sure, hasn't it? Made some careers for real. Both of the
I mean, it's changed people's lives, bro. You know, especially last season just gone. It's like overnight success is not the word when it comes to what's happened to some people from it, but yeah, it makes me proud. You know, it makes me proud that we're pioneering. We're giving new people a chance. Just like, you know, like how me and you, we came through. We didn't come through the conventional way, so to speak. You know what I mean? So it's like, I like to see other people coming in that way, and there'll be more people like us that are eventually going to learn, you know, the game. They may not know it right now. You know what I'm talking about, but they'll eventually learn it and become us, you know what I mean, at some point in the future. So yeah, that's another brilliant thing. But yeah, as a show, I just think, I think it just finally, you know, it took from what you were doing with kidulthood, adulthood, and whatever, and it just kind of it pushed it forward. You know what I'm saying? It made it, you know what I mean? Yeah. And obviously in the TV show form, and I just think that's what we've got to keep on doing. I'm not saying that we should always tell those stories, because I mean, if I had any issue,
we don't, because Bulletproof is
exactly. And when we were making Bulletproof, we discussed that we don't want to make another show like Top Boy, and that's not because we don't like it, but it's like, as black men, you know what I mean, in the industry or whatever, those are not the only stories we can tell. And you proved that by doing sci-fi and all sorts of other stuff.
Yeah, do you remember I did a radio interview not long after season 1 of Bulletproof, and I said, you know, we're not making shows like X, and people called you because they thought I was dissing Top Boy, and it's like, it's not a diss of Top Boy. We love that show, but we've done stories like that, and now we're done. All right, listen. So we're gonna do something now called the realness. So this is where I just got Ashley Walters, tell me the realness, and it's about something. It's anything you want. It could be like real talk, I love cake, or whatever, like this, blah, 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 whatever you want, or it could be something political or environmental, whatever, but I want to know it straight from the horse's mouth, not none of this like sugared down journalistic. This is my fucking thing. We say what the fuck we want, right? So tell me what Ashley Walters, talk to me, tell me some realness.
What you get so angry for? What's wrong with you?
I'm not, that's part of the intro of that segment. I'm not really angry. Look,
been a lockdown and you turned into an investigative journalist.
I feel like Robinson Crusoe, man. Look at me. I look like a hobo out here, bro. Like, so anyway,
man, you look refined. But
tell me something.
I don't know, bro. I don't know. Real. I mean, if I'm real, me and Dan spoke about this the other day, so I'll just say now, because she was like, if people only knew the sort of things that you watched, really, they'd be upset. And I was like, why? Why'd you say that? And she was like, because all right, so my favorite show. So the other night, series 11 of The Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Woo! Yeah.
But episode 1, So I've gone into my Sky, and you know, you see the new recording. So it's in the new recording. Bro, I don't think she's ever seen me so happy. You know what I'm saying? I got so gassed, I ran out the door. I was like, yo, listen.
Series 11.
It's on.
Yeah.
When I got my drink and everything coming back. But those are my guilty pleasures. Bro, that all of those Real Housewives and Judge Judy.
Yeah.
I can't live without, bro.
Yeah, I know you love Judge Judy. I know you love Judge. See, but that's what I'm talking about. So that's realness. That's what I'm talking, because that's something that people might not know about you, and that is. So I love it. All right. So, what's important to you? What's important to you outside of your career? I think I know the answer because we've discussed this many times. But to people that don't know you, don't know us, we took, they look at what we do and we're acting and blah blah blah. It's great. And every second message is, when's Bulletproof free? When's Top Boy free? Blah blah blah. But what's important to you outside of your career, outside of all this bullshit? What is important to you?
But have you seen them, man? You saw them at the beginning of this video. Those people that I cohabit with, you know what I mean? Yeah. My babies, my kids, my wife, my family, bro. This is my family. I mean, like, without them, do you know what I mean? That's all there is other than, do you know what I'm saying, the work. Our work is our hobby. Our work is our hobby as well. Yeah. So, we have fun by work when we work it. Like, that's our hobby or whatever. So outside of that,
we have fun when we work.
Yeah, obviously. I know, I know you like gaming and stuff like that as well, whatever, but there's not much more that we have that is extra outside of work other than our lives and our families, bro, in that sense. And I know you feel the same way, bro. So, I mean, that's the only answer I could give. You know how much I love my babies, bro. Like, they push me every day.
No, 100%. I love that, man. That's what I expected. But, we've got to ask the questions, and I love the answer. So this one now, I would say is a question that is a bit of a weird one. But the question is, and maybe I just asked that question, so maybe I should look at this. But what is one question? Think about all the press we do, all the talks we do, blah, 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 blah. We sit in those rooms for 8 hours and journalists come in and ask the same question. What is one question that you wish people would ask you?
Oh, that's a good question. That question.
That's
the question.
That's it. Done.
That's it. No, that's a good question. I suppose, if I'm honest, I think people have asked most things, so there would be nothing personal. What I do wish for is the day that I'm doing those junkets, but about my music. Yeah. About my solo music. You know how much I'm on my thing, and I'm determined to have this music career. So 100%. Yeah, that would be like, that's what I do wish sometimes, that people listen to my music like you. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like you do or whatever. Or rated my music like you do or whatever.
And I genuinely do. I've always said that to you. And, I truly believe that, you're one of the best MCs we've had out of this country. I feel like the reason you're disrespected by a lot of people or not valued that much is because you was in the group and, you guys made that movement, and you were one of the best in there, if not the best, no disrespect to anyone else, but that's how I feel. And then, you guys kind of set the scene. And so once you set the scene and it took off, people are now going with the young people and they're not looking back. It's like suddenly saying to someone, all right, let's go listen to Dr. Dre. The young people ain't listening to Dr. Dre, even though we know his albums are bang. Do you know what I mean?
100%, yeah, of course.
It's that kind of thing, I think, a victim of your own success, really, because you guys were the best.
Yeah, 100%. And sometimes just being before our time, bro. Yeah. Like with the whole thing. People don't know, like, how we made Bulletproof how many years ago, bro?
How many years ago?
You know what I'm saying? And it's only now people are like enjoying it. So
it's only now. And what's interesting is a lot of times, and I do feel this way, is like, we have made so much strides and opened so many doors. You sometimes can be those people that make all the inroads, open all the doors, and never get to experience any of the benefits because you kind of set the scene. And people before us, like, your Robbie G's and all that open doors for us. And sometimes they don't really get they get the benefits, they're well known, they're successful, but you know what I mean, the full benefits. Yeah. I think we're lucky that we got Bulletproof because we're in the mix of a young revolution of all these young people experiencing things that we couldn't have dreamed of, but yet we're here. And we are kind of getting, because, you know, we've been in #1 films. We have the #1 show. Do you know what I mean? It's smashing America as well and other places. So I think it's a testament. But loads of love to you. We've got one more little game. And then we're going to... one more little game. We'll talk about Bulletproof and then we'll wrap it up. So this game is called Give Me the Word. It's called Give Me the Word. So I'm going to say something to you, a word or a phrase or whatever, and you have to tell me the first word that comes back into your head.
All right, cool.
All right. You ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Cold.
Nose.
Acting.
Dialogue.
Mm-hmm. People.
Haters.
Good one. Oxtail.
Food.
Grime.
Music.
Quarantine.
Lockdown.
Seafood.
Oysters.
Birds. Birds. I know you hate birds. He hates birds. Who knew? Arsenal.
Football.
Cape Town.
Season.
Yeah. OCD.
No.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. Bulletproof.
1. I couldn't say 2 words.
Right, #1. That's right. 1. Stan and Charlie.
Karaoke.
Karaoke.
Yay!
Don't stop me now. I'm having such a good time. Yeah, it's been a long time since we've done one of them. All right, so listen, before we kick out of here, obviously you've had a storming career. We're chronicling it. We're going through right now to the #1 one. Literally now. So last time we did season 1, it was the #1 show on Sky. But you know, when you kind of work out the ratings that we were given last week, the 6.5 million downloads and whatnot, we kind of got one of the #1 shows in the whole country, because even on the terrestrial channels, there's not that amount of people watching the show. So how do you feel about the progression of Bulletproof? The idea that, you know, you walking up to me in the backstage area of a show many, many years ago, to us sitting in the coffee shop in Tottenham Court Road, to now having one of, if not the biggest show in the country. To tell me about that progression, how you feel about it.
Well, it's amazing. It's but you know what I've realized? It's not surreal. It's not surreal. It's just been hard work, bro. It's been hard work. The hard work has paid off. We haven't cut any corners.
No.
We've got the right people involved. We've kept the right control. We've done the right things. We've had the right creative stance. You know what I'm saying? Going through it, even when there's been, me and you might have opposed on certain things or whatever, but all of that stuff has just made it be as good as it is, and we've fought. The one thing we've done, both of us, is fought for the best for this show. Yeah, all the way through, because it's our baby and we love it so much. Mm-hmm. And I think the real pride comes from knowing that. The real pride comes from not even the numbers or whatever. It's just that, all right, maybe it's partially the numbers, but just that something that we produce together. These 2 black guys, from who knows where, came through, did this thing on their own terms, and we created this show, and the country and the world are receiving it. Yeah. And that does make me proud, bro. That makes me proud that, you know, and it makes me believe that. And I think you probably always felt this, but this is probably my first experience of feeling like, okay, I can do this again then, somehow. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could do another show like this. Like, we can do something else. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's like, those things really instill some real passion in you and some power, I suppose. Sometimes it's hard to be humble, but you know, you have to hold it down.
Yeah. But also, I think it's done that for other people as well. It's inspired other people. It's made other people go, wow, we can do that and we can tell different stories. Here we got these two guys who aren't crooks, who aren't crooked cops. We were adamant about that stuff, and they're just loyal to each other no matter what. And sometimes in our culture, it's rare that you get brothers, black brothers, hugging and being as loving as our two characters are on screen about other men, be like, yo, yo, yo. And I think it's an important stride. And you know, having a black wife and all that kind of stuff, I think we've made important strides on the show that hopefully will reflect in other shows and then reflect in society. You know what I'm saying?
100%, bro. This is another milestone. It's another Bullet Boy. It's another kidhood. It's another adult. You know what I mean? It's another milestone, and that's, like you said before. You kind of alluded to it. That's what we're good at doing. So sometimes, you know, it's our own skill that stops us from being in the wave that benefit from everything afterwards. You know what I mean? We are the we're the orchestrators. We're the benchmarks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're setting it, and that's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing. And on that note, my brother Ashley Waters, I have to say, I love you loads, man. Thank you for being the first.
I love you too, my brother.
On this thing. Ashley Waters, your career has been chronicled. I love you, my man. I'll catch you soon.
Bless up, my brother. Chat to you soon.
Yeah, take care. My brother Ashley Waters, my brother from another. I love Ash. I really do. It's interesting because when we first met many years ago, we didn't really vibe. We didn't really talk for a long time. And it was only in later years when we really decided to lock down this idea of us working together that we eventually came up with the idea that would become Bulletproof. And he has become one of my closest friends and someone I admire greatly and always had admired even when we didn't really talk. So Ashley, I love you loads, man. Thank you for being on the show. Your career has been chronicled. And for all you people that listen to the end, my little bit of for you is, as usual, you know, people wonder why I say this, but it's a thing I've been saying recently. And I'll tell you why. You know, always be kind to people as much as you can. People make mistakes, but, you know, do that. Always be real. Speak your mind. Say what you have to say. Life will be so much easier if we just say what we have to say instead of trying to please people. And don't let anyone take the mick out of you. You know what I mean? If people are going to be toxic and poison, cut them out of your lives. And so my phrase that I'm going to be saying every time we do the show is simple. 3 little sentences. Be kind, be real, be ruthless. And with that, thank you for watching. I'm out.